Hey, how you guys doing? It's your boy Mark. Here at the Big Applecon 2020, August 13th, on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. And yes, as I said before, I always bring the best guests to my television program. This gentleman that's in front of my camera is no exception to that statement. He's the one and only Rolo Ledesma. Rolo, thank you so much for being here. I know my audience members don't know who you are, but please tell me, how did you start your journey in art?
Thanks again for inviting me. So usually I started as a storyboard artist years ago, many years, like 18 years plus. But then I started getting into comics, indie comics, throughout, here in New York and out of state. And I was pretty fortunate enough to work with Terminal Press. And we worked with, at that time, with Scene, the Graffiti Legends. I used to do a lot of hip hop comic books and stuff throughout the years. In fact, that book got me nominated for the Russ Manning Award, the Will Eisner, out in San Diego as a newcomer in the comic book industry. So I was pretty honored with that. And then over the years, I built up my own comics, curvesandbullets.com, and also now I'm here at the trading card show showcasing sports legends of New York. So you get to see, Broadway Joe Namath, the original Dr. J, when they used to be in the Nets in Long Island. So a little bit of everything I've been working on the past few weeks and months, and also side projects with other people and stuff.
So, how did you start your own comic book entrepreneurship? What was that? What was the process like?
Well, I got experience working with indie companies. So for me to branch onto my own comic book series was pretty easy because I already kind of had, the knowledge how to get it done. But it wasn't easy to do, easy to draw for me, but to actually print, get them out there, doing a whole shows, New York Con, is actually, it's pretty much a struggle. But at the same time, it's rewarding because you get to actually showcase what you do and your own passion and stuff. So having my own comic series, it's always something I always wanted to do. So to do that and showcase it to people and they accept it, it's pretty awesome.
So, please tell me a little bit about your comic book Curves and Bullets. Like, just a little bit, not too much. We don't want to give away the magic because then we want people to actually buy it.
So, Curves and Bullets, I've been influenced a lot by the 80s, action movies and comic books. So, if you get Curves and Bullets, you get a little bit of Mad Max type artwork and a retro style from Mad Max, Tank Girl, heavy metal comic books, Judge Dredd. This is all influence that I had growing up. So if you see Curves and Bullets, you're going to get a lot of that action, high octane stuff. So it's been pretty fun working on that. I love muscle cars and babes and the whole thing. So you get a little bit of all that.
Okay, well, guys, you heard what the man said. It's been influenced by a lot of action movies from the 80s, and unfortunately, he cannot give away the story. So in order for you to read the story, you got to buy the book, which is very important. You got to support your local artists the same way you support the big time artists that you will never ever get to see in your life. So, could you please tell the audience out there your current touring schedule for your comic book conventions?
So I'm working on two books that are going to premiere at New York Comic Con coming up, and also Anime NYC. So Food Stamps with Rick Rios, that's coming up at New York Con, and also Zala the Curse Part 2. So those are two books I'm actually premiering at the Comic Cons in October, and also at the Big Apple Con in December. And I'll have my own book and my own sketchbooks in October also and December. So Anime NYC and New York Comic Con.
Cool, man. Thank you so much for that information. So, if anybody wanted to contact you for you to create any personal artwork for them, how should they go about it?
You can find me two ways. On Instagram as Rolo World NYC, and I do custom work. You get to see all my comics over the years that I've posted and worked on. And also www.curvesandbullets.com. You get to see the actual book, how it's processed, how it's done, and bio on everybody. So thank you again.
Rolo, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for spending time with my audience. It's been truly a pleasure just hearing you speak about your book and the work you've done. And the work that you have ahead of you. Guys, thanks for watching. We'll be back right after these messages. Okay, guys, we're going to pick up where we left off. Now, back to Ivy Supersonic's story.
So I was telling you how I met Gerald Wilkins and his new wife Kelly, and then Gerald Wilkins just walked by. Just so you understand that. Okay, he's from the New York Knicks. So what happened was I get back to my hotel room, and then Gerald and his wife Kelly sent me pictures in the scratch shirt. And anyway, I look online, and there's all these articles that Ivy Supersonic or Ivy Silberstein, I go into both names, just whipped Disney's ass. That they pulled Scrat out of Ice Age 6 on Disney+. Now Scrat, if you've been following for the last 20 years, is a completely iconic character. It is the largest grossing cartoon character in the history of the world internationally. And they pulled it out of Ice Age 6, okay? Now, me having a Jewish background, Ivy Silberstein, it seems rather odd that Disney, that owns 6,000 trademarks for all their cartoon characters, but doesn't own one trademark for the cartoon Scrat, and I own 2 trademarks for the cartoon Scrat. You know, they could have licensed it to me, but they could have called me, they could have bought it, they could have licensed it, they could have done a lot of things, but they chose, instead of paying a Jewish girl, if you know that Walt Disney happened to be prejudiced against Jews, it's even Abigail Disney, his great-grandniece talks about it, how he hated Jews. They could have paid the Jewish girl, but instead they chose to pull an iconic cartoon character out of their show. So this is real stuff. This is what life is. Okay, so be it. So anyway, 500 articles came out that I just whooped Disney's ass. You know, I mean, it's crazy. Disney paid $85 billion and they wound up with Ice Age, Scrap, Blue Sky Studios, 20th Century Fox. You know that they fired the 450 guys at Blue Sky Studios. They canned the name, 20th Century Fox. They pulled the Scrat out of Ice Age. The whole thing is just wild, you know. They bought a stolen cartoon character. They bought like a fake. They bought like the fake. Like I have the real Scrat, but they bought the fake. So what happened was that we went to court in 2003. Anything could happen in court. Doesn't mean it was the right decision or the wrong decision or you understand it. Just what you need to know is that there was an arbitration decision. When it goes to arbitration, is not reversible. The arbitrator decide just like whatever. He wasn't even a lawyer or a judge. He was an arbitrator who was making a decision. He said, be fair, whatever it was, split the baby down the middle. Remember that movie where they cut a baby? I feel like that's my friend named Jimmy.
Hey, yo! How you doing, man? Sorry.
Okay. Oh my God, how you doing, Jimmy? Oh my God, my Jimmy, my
Hello,
Uncle Jimmy.
gorgeous.
So, woo. Okay. So imagine that the arbitrator said split the baby down the middle. So in 2003, I was a little upset. You know what I mean? Now it's like Ivy Fox. I don't even understand what this means for me or my cartoon character, but it didn't feel good after spending night and day working my ass off with all kinds of rock stars and CEOs and producing, I don't know, so many, just so much. It just stole half my life. So, you know, so if you like or you don't like, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to say a name, Joel Osteen. You know, whether you like him or not, you know, he says this. He says, and always remember, it's not who it's coming from, it's what's being said. He says, you know, what somebody did to harm you, you want to use for your advantage. So what they did to harm me, what Fox did to harm me and steal my cartoon character, okay? Went to arbitration. They said split the baby down the middle. Okay, so now the Scrat, at the time, you know, it's Ivy Fox. And then Disney paid the $85 billion. Now it's Ivy Disney. So the Scrat is very confusing for people. They fired the 450 animators at Blue Sky Studios because I came out in December of 2020 with Ivy Supersonic and Walt Disney Scrat. It's very legit. That's what it is. So they fired all the animators, which they blamed on the pandemic. The animators blamed it on the pandemic. Okay, sure, it's not the case. So anyway, the arbitrator made this decision. There was 100 cartoon characters. Besides the scrap, there was 99 other cartoon characters. So this Ivy Disney company that I'm launching today, let's see if I could pick this up. I have the mic. Well, we got the Ivy Disney. Ivy Disney. This is real shit. I mean, I'm not making it up. The arbitrator decided to split the baby down the middle. I have 100 cartoon characters that I own with Disney, and I'm launching it here today. So here are some of the articles. This is not about the 100 cartoon characters. This is just about the Scrat. Now, I have never in all these years brought up my 100 cartoon characters. I'm doing it here today. That's what we're doing here at Big Apple Trading Card Show. So after we did this interview on January 28th of this year, I got back to my hotel room and all these articles, Game Hub, Disney loses rights to Scrat from Ice Age, The Hollywood Lawyer, Film Fridays, Disney loses Scrat character and trademark lawsuit. Univision, that's a big channel. Scrat from Ice Age has an origin that few know. It was not invented by Fox or Disney. So there's 500 articles that went on the internet. It was crazy. It was crazy. But still nobody ever talks about Tommy Lee from Motley Crue was the drummer for my Scrat cartoon. Hi. Oh, it was so nice to meet you. I have your card in my pocket. Thank you. Vegas. When I come to Vegas. Thank you. I got it. Thank you when you come. I mean, to Vegas. When I come to Vegas. So, so here's Pam. So then Pam and Tommy came out. With the porn tape that was stolen. This whole Pam and Tommy that, was on Hulu. I just want to say, so on February 2nd, 2002. There's a lot of twos on that date. Pam and Tommy was released. So all the press started talking about, the hat that I designed for Pamela Anderson. But no one ever talked about that Tommy Lee was the voice of the Scrat. Now here, you have Ice Age on Disney, and they pulled the Scrat out. And Tommy Lee was going to be the voice of Scrat. And then on Disney, you have the Pam and Tommy story. It was such a weird thing at the same time. And I just want to say Disney's a little bit different than it used to be because in America, Pam and Tommy was on a Hulu. But in the entire world, it's on Disney+. And if you saw Pam and Tommy, you know that the actor named Sebastian it was full frontal nudity. And on Disney+, this guy and his private parts are in your face. Like it's so, I was watching it on my computer, on my laptop. So my laptop is like right up to me. And there it was, private parts literally in my face. This is on Disney+. So this is not the channel that you remember when you were a baby or when you were a child. My mother loved to take me to, Disneyland. This is not Disneyland. This is like Disney porn. So anyway, so here I wanted to show you, I have a couple more articles if you know about comic books, CBR. I mean, this is just 500 articles out there. And so then after my 500 articles and a couple of producers, we were talking about, making my Scrat into a film. And they happened to have worked for Fox, and they told me, I was supposed to send an accounting and for all the money that they owed me. So they already knew that I didn't do this, and they had some inside information. But then all of a sudden, when the fourth guy came in, all of a sudden I gave them my paperwork. They turned around and they went back to Disney with it, and then they announced Scrat Tales. So Scrat Tales came out on April 13th. Of this year, 6 short Scrat movies, which it is infringing on my Scrat trademarks. Yes, it is. And what was so crazy that Blue Sky is like totally pissed off. They've been fired. You know what I mean? So they released Scrat getting its nut with a 30-second video and just killing like F you Disney. You bought us, you canned us, you took our stuff. F you. Scrat got its nut. We're ending it, not you. So it's a whole crazy scenario, really. And, yep. So, I mean, the saga is not ending. Some really weird, wild stuff. I don't want to tell the story yet. Yeah. Oh, but,
She's overjoyed. She has good news.
Yeah, there's good news. There's really good news, And So here we are. We're launching the Ivy Disney today, and
So tell us about Ivy Disney. Is it like a channel or is it a product service?
oh, so what's happened is this. Oh, I don't know. Could we see any of this kind of stuff? Let's see here. So what happened is that I decided I'm going to call the art. I'm going to call it. I'm calling it ugly art. So the arbitrator ruled that the copyright is from 1999. This is what the ruling is. That's it. So I got the 99 cartoons, copyright 1999. And here's the owl. This is the ugly owl. This is the raccoon, the ugly raccoon. And this is the cat. I got the wild cat, so there's so many. It could be Ivy Disney, it could be Silberstein Disney, it could be Ivy Supersonic Walt Disney, whatever it is. You know what I mean? If I wanted to open a restaurant or a gym, and there's my logo. I mean, there's the wild cat. It's Ivy Disney. I didn't make that decision. I mean, that's it. So, yeah. Here we go. I mean, we got the turtle, we got the ugly turtle, we got the ugly aardvark, we got the ugly iguana. Yep, that's Ivy Disney. So, yeah, we got the scrat. So that's all I could say is, thank you to my father who helped me. He was a lawyer. And, thank you to my lawyer who helped me, Peter Kane, and to my lawyer, David Einhorn, my father, Jerome D. Silberstein, attorney at Silberstein, A. Mikolos. And thank you, God. And, thank you for my friends who believed in me, and thank you for Disney for allowing this to happen, because they could have cleaned it up. They should have cleaned it up, March 20th of 2019 when they spent the $85 billion, but they chose not to. They really gave me a gift. I worked my whole life, and now I'm Ivy Disney, and that's it. Peace.
One of the questions I have to ask is, what's going on with Scrat nowadays? Are you going to turn him into a comic book character, or are you going to put him in the Sunday newspaper strip?
I'm working with some people, and whichever deal happens first is the deal that's going to happen. I mean, I would like to have him, an animated TV series. My friend over there named Rolo, I'm not that kind of artist. He's a comic book artist, so we're in talks of making the comic book. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know the amount of money, if that's such a good... all things do start out with that comic book, but this has already been builded, and this has been branded. This has been, hundreds of millions of dollars have already, built up the Scrat name. So, I mean, to me, TV show would really be the and movie, and and I would like to publish my book on the Hollywood heist and how the Silberstein Scrat became the Disney Scrat, and how it all happened. I'd like to talk about all the different people that helped make this possible. You know what I mean? It's really an amazing thing. Yep, it's an amazing thing how this happened.
So it's safe to say we're going to have a comic book first, then some toys, some plush dolls. You definitely have the hats already done, and you definitely have the T-shirts done. And glad to see that Scrat is finally home where he truly belongs. He belongs with his family. You're his mama, so thankfully he's no longer in the arms of the other person. I won't say their name for legal reasons.
I mean, the truth is that, I'm fighting big guns and mad money. That's what it's called. They call it mad money, and the court systems and stuff, there's always still a fight, do you know that judge? You know that judge? Did you sleep? You know what I mean? Well, there are a lot of tricks. There's a lot of tricks. And the fight is, you know what I mean? You got to get strength and power. You got to channel power from God in order to fight. This is like fighting the devil. And in truth, it's been going on for a long time. It's really, every day you wake up, you're fighting, you got to fight with God power, truthfully. That's the only way. If you want to be Ivy Disney, I mean, Who this doesn't happen. This is a gift. This is like a gift from God. This doesn't happen. This has happened to nobody. There's no story like this. There has been no story like this. There'll never been. Oh, there was a story like this.
Yes.
Who?
I told you about my boss.
Is he Ivy Disney too?
No, what I mean is that, he fought on
Oh, oh,
his case.
oh, uh-huh.
But the same thing like you, they buried his story.
Yeah, that's right. That's what they. Interesting because they bury the story, and then all of a sudden, right after the interview with you, the story, it became like unburied. It kind of resurrected, And I'm going to tell you what happened. I put out a tweet, and I thanked like Abigail Disney and Walt Disney for respecting my trademark, and everybody. The tweet went viral. Like, I don't know, 250,000 hits, likes. I mean, the whole thing, like, it went viral. And the kids of the world that have no idea, they're all mad at me. They don't understand that I did something to them, that I pulled their Scrat, their lovable Scrat, out of their favorite movie. I took away their, childhood cartoon character. It was really weird. They were all mad at me. They don't understand what happened.
Truthfully, in the world we're living in now, a lot of kids are not educated between right and wrong. So, do they really have a right to be upset with you? No. But they can be upset about what has happened, and if they take the time to research and find out what really went down, then they'll realize there's no reason to be upset with you. They must be upset with the corporation that did this.
Corporation, right. You know what? First of all, this has been world news. It's been very heavily in Puerto Rico and Mexico. My Mexican news is just crazy. And just the whole world is talking about this. More so in every single country than America. It's in every single country they're talking about this. America is a lot less. I do have some good, a lot of the game sites. But you haven't read about it in Time Magazine, you haven't read about it in USA Today or People, you haven't read about it in Newsweek or New York Magazine. So, the bigger publications are not talking about it, but you could go to scrat.com, S-C-R-A-T, the same Scrat that Disney owns, and you're going to read that Ivy beat Disney when you go to that website.
Scrat, if they find out your story, when they find out your story, is going to inspire a lot of hope and confidence. And it's going to inspire people to pursue their dreams. So, they have to bury the story.
Right, they're burying the story. Well, I guess if you watch the news and you know that maybe, a lot of the news is fake, who knows? I don't know. It's a weird world that we live in. And, I don't want to be, cynical because I'm such a positive person, but it is very evil, and you really have to wake up in the morning and, put a smile on your face, and you really have to claim victory, and know that victory is yours, and you have to really go out there, like a warrior, and you got to fight, you know what I mean? Like, you got to use your brain as your sword. That's what you need. You need brain power. So, that's really the truth of it. You can never give up. And just keep fighting, because like the devil is real, and we're all fighting. We're all fighting. All of us, every day, every minute, every breath. We're fighting. We're fighting. We're fighting. And like, you really are not going to fight. God's will. That's what it is. Ivy Disney. Ivy Disney. It's amazing.
I'm glad everything turned out in your favor. I'm glad that Scrat is officially home with his family where he rightfully belongs. And I hope Mickey Mouse doesn't harbor any hard feelings towards you. But, you had to make sure everything was right, because everything was totally wrong with this whole situation.
It was totally wrong. It's totally wrong. And now it's right. Ivy Disney, baby. 100 cartoon characters I'm bringing you. So we started off with the hats. I launched them here today. I launched the Ivy Disney, cartoon characters here today. And I have two different lines. I got the Silberstein Disney and I got the Ivy Disney. And, so there's two different lines. But we have 100 cartoon characters. So you will be seeing the 100 cartoon characters in comic books and on, clothing lines, and you will see them all over the place. So just look for the new brand, Ivy Disney.
Well, Ivy, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for just giving an inspirational story, and keep kicking ass. That's all we expect you to do.
Yep. That's right. That's right, baby. So for all you, kids out there, never, just keep dreaming and follow your dreams, and you are the creator of your dreams. So that's what it is. If you think it and you see it, believe it, you could be it. Yep.
As I said before, thank you again for being here. Thank you for giving us a happy ending. Now there's gonna be a brand new chapter for Scrap. I can't wait to see what happens to Scrap in the future. Ivy, you've been amazing. Keep up the good work. Okay. You're welcome. All right, guys, that's a wrap. And until next time, bye bye.